Sorry, we're closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Episode 65 of Sorry We're Closed. I am your host, Mr. Patrick James Light, and boy, do we have a good one today. The typical Thursday episode of, doing the quick rundown of something that I'm interested in and something that I've been interested in. This particular thing I've been interested in for a little while now, but it is fairly new, so I'm excited to bring it to you guys. The Clubhouse. New app, the Gary Vaynerchuks of the world, right? You get on every new app possible. You're just constantly downloading new apps, social media apps, trying to get first to market at that app. If you started a TikTok account and posted, let's say a year, 2 years ago, you're probably much more famous and had a much better chance of becoming and gaining a following on TikTok if you did that. Whereas if you didn't, you might not. First thing I want to mention before I even get into Clubhouse is check out the view. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the view I have in the background. Now, I try to do this because I do have a view of Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan. You can't see the Empire State Building. If you're watching it this way, but Midtown Manhattan, that's Hudson Yards behind me. And I have a good view of Midtown Manhattan, and I've been trying to do it. However, when I do Zoom calls, I have to do it on my laptop because for whatever reason, the record button just will not pop up for me on my phone. So I have to do it on my laptop. The laptop for the Macs, their computer, their camera is just way worse than any camera you have on your iPhones. The iPhone's cameras are just tremendous. Perfect example, if you watch this video and then go back to my last episode 64 with Jessica Kleinschmidt, you'll see that right now my camera is able to focus on myself with good lighting, along with the city and being able to see the city. Whereas in Jessica's, if it's going to focus on the city, I become darker, even though I have the ring light. You can see the ring light in the pupils of my eyes. You have the ring light, all that. So it's the same lighting. Everything's exactly the same, but the camera is able to do a much better job focusing on both things rather than just one thing. So again, is for people that are listening to this in their cars and things. That's this last 2-minute rant means nothing to you, but it's meaningful to me because I think the background is pretty cool, and I like to keep it that way. But diving into Clubhouse. Now, if you're not familiar with Clubhouse at all, Clubhouse essentially is an app that lets you start rooms, quote unquote, and you start talking about whatever. You can make it about baseball, you can make it about economics, you can make it about the stock market, you can make it about buildings, whatever, right? And people are hopping on right now and starting these rooms and gaining followings. For example, you got talk about like some really notable Barstool names who have, like Marty Mush, who's got hundreds of thousands of followers elsewhere. On Clubhouse has like 1,000 followers right now. You expect him to grow exponentially as long as the app is successful. These personalities and these talents on social media will grow big time on this particular app. For myself, I think it could be a very valuable place for me to be able to bring content. I'm a talker. I do a podcast. I enjoy talking baseball. I enjoy talking business. I enjoy doing a lot of different things. And I think this particular app has the ability to do that. Because you start the room. Let's say I started it with me and Jared Carabas. Me and Jared get in there. We start talking baseball. We can allow people. You can raise your hand. Like if you're just listening to it, you can raise your hand. Click a button. He raises your hand, and then we can allow you to ask questions. We can allow you into the discussion. We can go bring someone from the audience into the discussion. We talk with them for a little while, and then we bring someone else in from the audience to talk a little bit. It's a really cool thing. And originally, when I first saw it, I just thought it was, doesn't Twitter Live do this? Doesn't Instagram Live do this? But it doesn't. Instagram Live doesn't allow me to bring in multiple people to come talk. It doesn't allow the raise your hand method. There are things here, there are nuances to this app that no other app has. And I think there is value there. And not so much, from an investing standpoint. There probably is value there too. If there's a value on, as far as a social media personality, there's probably value in the investing world. But what I'm saying in value is for you guys, the people that listen to my podcast, that follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, I much rather say all my tweets than have to type them out all the time. I think more personality comes across. I like listening to guys like Marty, Jared, Dave Portnoy, all these guys. I like listening to those people rather than having to read what they're saying. That's just how I like to, as Gary would say, consume content. That's how I would like to do it myself. And that's how I'd like to give content. I like to be able to talk about the games. So some ideas that I'm thinking about throwing out there. Obviously, your run of the mill, baseball talk, and maybe me and Hubs jump on a podcast or jump into a room and talk baseball with some people. There's a bunch of different things there that we could probably do. But one thing that's really intriguing to me is live Sorry We're Closes. So I've been thinking about doing a live Sorry We're Closed on Instagram Live, which I think would be a pretty cool idea because you'd be able to see. And I'm not letting people in. So let's say me and Will Middlebrooks did another podcast. I could bring Will on, and me and him could go back and forth in the Instagram Live while recording it and then sending it onto a podcast. But you'd be able to listen to it live. The thing I think it's interesting here is essentially I could do a live Sorry We're Closed. You promote it, do the whole bit, be able to record it, and then let some of you guys in, and whether or not just me and us go back and forth. We're talking baseball. We're talking things you want to talk about. We're asking questions. I think being able to get you guys more involved in the actual show itself, I think could be a really cool dynamic and something that I'm not sure any podcast in the world is doing right now. And as I try to grow my own podcast and things like that, being able to do things that no other podcasts in the world are doing can be very valuable and can get a lot of people excited about it and talking about it and promoting it. So I think this is a really cool idea, this Clubhouse idea. When you sit down and really think about it, there's a lot of things we could do with this that I think really brings a different level of a different type of content to people. Instead of just listening to me here talk, I've been talking now for 7.5 minutes. Instead of me just sitting here and listening, or you guys just sitting there and listening or watching on YouTube me talk, you might be able to join the conversation. I might be able to talk about, let's say, Clubhouse and what I think about it. And then instead of me just giving you my ideas right now, I might open the room up and take someone's question and bring them in. Or what do you think about Clubhouse, and what are your thoughts? And now me and this person go back and forth. You get to hear that interaction, and then take it a step further. And then let's bring someone else, and you have an idea about this, and be able to bring a bunch of different opinions into one episode rather than just hearing my opinion on it. I think that would be something I'd be even interested in listening to. You bring guys, that have whatever industry you might be thinking about or listening to. I listen to some real estate podcasts, some investing podcasts, all over the board. Let's say investing. If you put a Clubhouse room together of Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates, and they're all just sitting there talking, having a TED talk, and then you maybe even there'd be probably millions of people or thousands of people in that room. But if you could ask a question, or you get someone an amateur investor asking a question that you probably have yourself, and then they get to bounce it back and forth between these guys, and you get to hear the idea or the answer to it. I think that would be really cool. And on the baseball side, just on my own personal level, I think bringing myself and Eric Hubs, a Jared Carabas, a Dallas Braden, John Boy Media, Trevor Plouffe, some of these great minds, some of the people I've even had on my own podcast, these great minds of baseball, being able to put us all in a room and talk together and just be spitballing baseball and going back and forth. You hear so many different perspectives. I remember tweeting out something a couple weeks ago. I forget exactly what it was. I wish I would remember off the top of my head, but tweeting out something a couple weeks ago and having Trevor Plouffe come in and be like, "Whoa, Pat, wait, think of it this way." And I immediately retracted my tweet. Now, I didn't delete it. I just, said to people, okay, I was wrong, because Trevor Plouffe, who's got, however many more years of experience in baseball itself, not just in Major League Baseball, but he is older than I am, so more years just in baseball in general, is able to shed his light. Imagine hearing that live. Imagine hearing me say what I had to say about whatever the case may be, and Trevor being like, wait a minute, and then having that dialogue, instead of it being one tweet, that dialogue that's in real time, being able to hear that, I think would be awesome. And being able to work through that, when you watch Trevor, put holes in what I'm saying, and not to make me wrong, but like put holes in what I'm saying and interject, things that he has learned over the time to show, oh, this is why this is not true, Pat. This is why what you're thinking, because of, you only had a year in the big leagues, so you never got to this, and this level where you would learn these things. Let me help you. Here are some things that I've learned along the way that makes your viewpoint, you tweak your viewpoint a little bit. I think hearing that live would be extremely helpful. I think it'd be really cool. It's something that I would listen to. So I think there are a lot of possibilities here with this new app, Clubhouse, and I would invite all of you to go download it. Obviously, follow me on there, because I'd love to bring you guys involved in more things and start rooms together. But you gotta be let in. So I don't know exactly. They don't always pop up things for me to let you in. But when I see it, and I see people that want to come in, especially my own followers, I always, if it's up to me, I always let you have you in. I'd follow you, and we start rooms together and just start talking. Start talking baseball, start talking business, start talking traveling, whatever the case may be. Start talking some stuff, and I think it'd be a really cool experience for all of us. So, hey, that's my 2 cents on Clubhouse. I think it's a cool little thing. I wonder how much it grows. I wonder in 3 years where Clubhouse will be. Is this a new social media app that will take off? Is it something that will die off? Not really sure. As it stands right now, I would say it takes off. I think it's a really cool concept that no other social media app is bringing. It's a completely different thing from what every other social media app is doing. Now, does Instagram do the typical Instagram where they integrate some of this technology into their own app? Maybe. I think it's a little off-brand for them. I don't think they're a direct competition to Instagram, so I don't think that they do that. But it would be interesting to see where this goes and how other social media apps adapt. I think this is more of a direct competitor to a Twitter, because again, you're able to talk your tweets out, talk your thoughts out with people in real time. But again, I think it's so nuanced, it's so different from everything else, and the concept that it has, I think it complements all the other social media apps more than competes with it. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But again, follow me over there. I think I'm Pat, no underscore this time. It's just Pat Light, which I'm very excited about. I keep trying to get that underscore out of there on Instagram and Twitter. Who knows if that'll ever happen, but it's just Pat Light. Obviously, I follow all you guys back. I love having interactions with you guys. So go download Clubhouse. Also, happy Thursday, happy Friday, whenever you're listening to this. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And it should be. I have some really cool plans coming out. I hope to be able to announce some new things coming in the next couple months for you guys. So there's some stuff on the horizon here that should be really cool. So enjoy your weekend, guys. Go out, have some fun, have a few drinks, and until next time, guys, I'll see you around. Thank you so much for listening to the Sorry We're Closed podcast. Go subscribe to our email chain over at thepatlight.com and follow us on all social media. Until next time, guys, I'll see you at the bar.
Sorry, we're closed.